day started like any other in suburban Chicago. Kids ran across the cracked concrete of the local park, their soccer balls bouncing unevenly in the early spring light. I was 15, new to the team, and nervous about trying out. But what caught my attention wasn't the coach yelling at players or the smell of freshly cut grass. It was the abandoned stadium across the street. Nobody went there. The gates were rusted shut, the stands overgrown with weeds. People said it had been closed for decades after a terrible accident, something about a final championship match that went horribly wrong. Curiosity gnawed at me. Every time I kicked the ball near the gates, I swore I heard faint cheering. Faint, but real. Not the wind. That night, I found myself staring at my phone, looking up old records of the team that used to play there. They were called the Northfield Strikers, undefeated, until the last match. According to the article, the scoreboard still exists in the stadium, and it still worked. The next day, I couldn't resist. I told my teammates I was going to practice on my own, then slipped through a gap in the fence. The stadium smelled like rust and wet grass. Empty bleachers loomed above me like silent sentinels. Then I saw it, the scoreboard covered in dust, but lit by an eerie green glow. The numbers flashed, 0 to 0. A whistle blew. I froze. There was no one there, but I could hear footsteps, running, shouting, the echo of a crowd roaring. I turned, and I swear I saw a shadow, moving fast across the field. A player, or something that used to be a player. Then I heard a voice whisper, "Asterisk, the game isn't over." Asterisk. I wanted to run, but my feet felt glued to the ground. The ball rolled to me by itself. I kicked it. The sound, it wasn't mine. It was sharper, louder, almost like someone else was playing. From the corner of my eye, I saw figures forming out of the fog. Players, faces pale, eyes black. They were wearing the old Northfield jerseys. I tried to speak, but no sound came out. The scoreboard flashed, 1 to 0. The figures moved as if rehearsed, passing the ball silently, running impossible sprints. Every time the ball came near me, it stopped inches from my foot. Then one of them, the captain, I think, pointed at me. I felt a chill in my chest. His mouth opened, but no words came out. Instead, I heard the roar of the crowd, screaming in anger and fear. The scoreboard kept counting. 2 to 0, 3, 0. Every number made my heart pound faster. I realized something. The numbers weren't just scores. They were lives. Every number meant someone who had tried to play here before me had disappeared. I tried to run, but the gate had vanished. The stadium had changed. The field was endless, stretching into darkness. I ran toward the scoreboard, hoping to destroy it. But as I touched it, the faces of the lost players flashed across it, their eyes empty, pleading. The captain grabbed my shoulder. Cold, ice cold. I fell to my knees. "Play with us," the voice hissed. I had no choice. I ran, I kicked, I dribbled. The game consumed me. Hours, or days, passed. The scoreboard climbed, 10-0, 20-0. Then, suddenly, silence. I was alone. The stadium empty. The scoreboard blank. I thought it was over. I walked home, shaken. Next morning, the news reported a missing teenager. His friends said he loved soccer. His last known location, Northfield Stadium. I don't know if anyone will believe me, but sometimes, at night, I hear cheering in the distance. And I swear, the scoreboard is counting again. It started with a jersey. I didn't even mean to buy it. The second-hand store smelled of damp clothes and mildew. The tag said Riverwood High Soccer, 1998. Faded, torn slightly, and inexplicably heavy. I laughed when I saw it. A piece of old high school history. But something about it tugged at me. Maybe it was the way the numbers, #7, seemed darker than the rest of the fabric. That night, I put it on, just for fun. The moment I did, my vision blurred. I was no longer in my bedroom. I was standing on a field under floodlights. Empty bleachers stretched into the fog. A scoreboard blinked 0 to 0. A voice called my name. Not loud, a whisper from everywhere. "You're one of us now." I took the jersey off and blinked. My room was normal. But the next day, I found it folded neatly on my chair. I hadn't left it there. At school, rumors began. Strange injuries on players. A teammate fell during practice. His jersey ripped at the same spot where mine had a tear. Blood, but no explanation. I asked my friends if they noticed anything unusual about the jersey. They shook their heads. Only I could see it. That night, I had dreams. Soccer games I didn't play, goals I never scored. And every time I kicked the ball, I felt someone else controlling my foot. I woke up in sweat. The jersey damp. The day after, the strangest thing happened. My reflection didn't look like me. My eyes dark hollow. The jersey's numbers seemed to glow faintly in the mirror. I tried to get rid of it. Trash, wash, burn, nothing worked. It always returned. Then I discovered the story. Number 7. A player named Ethan Rivers, captain of Riverwood High, died during the championship match in '98. They said it was an accident, fell during a slide tackle. But rumors whispered, foul play. Every player in the final match wore that cursed jersey number. Every one of them vanished mysteriously after the game. And now it was mine. I woke up one night to the sound of cleats on hardwood. My floor, not outside. Footsteps running, stopping, running again. I ran to my window. Empty street. The next morning, my dog was gone. The collar was found neatly folded next to the jersey. I thought hiding it would help. I buried it in the backyard. That night, I dreamed again. The field, the players, and Ethan. His eyes, full of rage, staring right at me. "You took my spot," he hissed. I woke to a tearing sound. My walls, my floorboards. The jersey had returned, soaked in something that smelled like iron. Blood. The next practice at school, the soccer ball rolled toward me by itself. My teammates vanished into the shadows. I ran, but I couldn't escape the field in my dream. Ethan was everywhere, passing, kicking, scoring, but not alone. Behind him, the other number 7s from past decades, all staring at me, all whispering in unison. Asterisk, join us, or lose everything. Asterisk, I never wore the jersey again. But sometimes, I find it folded on my bed. Always damp, always heavy. And sometimes, when I kick a ball, I hear a crowd roar. Not in a stadium. Inside my head. Riverwood High, #7, waiting for the next player curious enough to try. It began with a rumor. Everyone at Eastbrook High said the old practice field was cursed. Nobody went there after sunset. They said, years ago, during a playoff match, a player named Lucas Hayes missed a penalty kick. That miss cost the team the championship. But the story didn't end there. He died the next day. Some said it was an accident. Others whispered he was found, hanging near the goalpost, his uniform soaked in rain and blood. I didn't believe it. I loved soccer too much. Curiosity got the better of me. One Friday night, I grabbed my ball and headed to the field. Empty, silent. The wind whispered through the goal net like it was alive. Then I saw it. A single, old cleat lying near the penalty spot. Rusted, torn, as if waiting for someone. And a voice, soft, almost pleading. Asterisk, kick it one last time. Asterisk. I ignored it. But the next day, my teammates laughed about the field. Asterisk, don't go there, man. They say Lucas haunts it. Miss a penalty, and you'll vanish. Asterisk, one joked. I laughed too. But that night, I couldn't sleep. The image of that cleat haunted me. When I finally drifted off, I dreamed. The field again. The goalpost gleaming under moonlight. Lucas stood there. Pale, uniform torn, eyes black. One shot, he said. His voice hollow, like the wind itself. I woke up, heart racing. My soccer ball was on my floor. Next practice, strange things happened. The ball moved by itself. Shadows darted across the field. Every penalty I took, the ball veered slightly, hitting posts, hitting air, always missing. The scoreboard on the gym wall blinked. 0-1. I started seeing him everywhere. Reflections in windows. Shadows under the bleachers. His whisper. Asterisk, you owe me a goal. Asterisk. I tried to tell my coach. He laughed, said I was stressed. But when I showed him the ball, it had a deep red stain. I thought I was imagining it. Then, one night, my best friend disappeared. Last seen on the field. Only a soccer cleat remained near the penalty spot. I realized Lucas wasn't alone. Every player who missed a penalty at Eastbrook High came back, in some form, waiting for the next person daring enough to play. I couldn't ignore it. The curse wasn't just a story. It was real. Friday night. I couldn't resist. I went to the field alone. The rain fell. The goalpost glowed faintly. Shadows moved around me. Players, dozens of them, all with hollow eyes. I placed the ball on the penalty spot. The ground trembled. "Kick it," they chorused. I ran. I shot. The ball soared, but Lucas' shadow intercepted it. The goal exploded in darkness. Everything went silent. I fell to my knees. I felt hands on my shoulders. Not alive. Not warm. Ice cold. "You missed," the voices whispered. I woke up in the locker room. Alone. My teammates nowhere. The scoreboard read 0-1. And in my bag, a single, bloodstained cleat. I never play penalty kicks alone. But sometimes, late at night, I hear a ball rolling toward me. And a whisper, "Asterisk, try again. Asterisk."